I'm back to share another poem by Dr. Iqbal. The poem that I have with me, its title is Maut, and Maut means death. Okay, so through this poem, Allama Iqbal is trying to remove, some of the misconceptions, that we have about this topic, misconceptions, any doubts that we have about this topic, or the fear, the general fear that we associate with death. So through this poem, only there are three couplets in this poem. So through these three couplets, he's trying to remove those misconceptions and the fear that we have with this, with death. Okay, so let's see how this goes. लहद में भी यही गैबो हुजूर रहता है. Okay, lahad में भी यही गैबो हुजूर रहता है. So he's saying that in grave, okay, in the dimension of grave, okay, grave, not the physical grave, okay, but grave is a dimension. So when soul departs from a body, so the body is just matter, a heap of matter. So we just bury that body, and but the soul, it carries on into another dimension. Okay, so the dimension that the first dimension that's there, it's called as grave. Okay, so grave's dimension. So he's saying that in that dimension, in grave's dimension, yahi ghaib huzur rehta hai. This seen and unseen, okay, it remains the this seen and unseen, it's there as well. Okay, so what does that mean, seen and unseen? Okay, so when we are alive, so what do we see around us? Okay, so we see that there is this sky. Okay, we are on earth, there are other fellow beings, and then there are other creatures, and then there is this whole earth, and then we have a sky, and on that sky we have stars, and stars that we cannot count. And then we learn that the sky that we see with our eyes, it's nothing compared to the total sky, that the vast sky that is out there. So there are the billions and billions of stars and galaxies, and in galaxies there are countless stars there. Okay, and each star has its own planets, and there are moons around planets, and whatnot. Okay, so we cannot really grasp, we cannot understand how big this universe is, how vast this universe is, and it's expanding. Okay, it's expanding. So yeah, so with our eyes we can see this. Okay, some of it we can see, and then there are other ways, other methods to see what else is there. Okay, so this is seen. Okay, this is called as seen. But then we learn there are the knowledge that we have, the current knowledge that we have, it tells us that the seen part of this universe, it's nothing compared to what is unseen. Okay, so it's not, you cannot compare to what we have, what we know, what we can see. And then there is unseen, that we don't know what is that. Okay, so yeah, so in this life, with our own eyes, the body that we have, and then the soul that we have, together we human beings, we are a human being. So what do we see? We see seen and unseen. Okay, and in religious texts, okay, if you read any, and then I read Quran, so this term comes again and again. Okay, that creator of the seen and unseen. Okay, yeah, so Iqbal is saying that in grave's dimension, once a soul departs a body of a person, in that dimension also there is this seen and unseen. Okay, but the difference, which we may think, the difference may be that the seen and unseen will change. Okay, maybe the seen part that we have now, the universe or matter that we can see, it will become unseen in that dimension. Okay, and there will be a newer scene. Okay, newer scene that we cannot imagine right now. Okay, but this seen and unseen story, it will continue in that graves dimension. Okay, अगर हो जिंदा तो दिल नासुगूर रहता है. Okay, so it means that if your heart is alive, it keeps experiencing this seen and unseen. Okay, so for me, I will use this the heart. I mean, it's just me, and I may be wrong. Okay, but the heart that we have in our body. Okay, so this heart is associated with it's a matter. Okay, our body is also matter. Okay, so and there is soul in it. Okay, so as soon as soul departs our body, the rest of the body is just a heap of matter. Okay, so for us, it does not, it's no more, it's not of any importance. Okay, so yeah, what we do, we just bury that body. And yeah, so I would say that the heart that Iqbal is talking about here, this heart is actually soul. Okay, so soul of a person is the heart that we have in our body. Okay, so we want to keep this heart pumping. Okay, we want to keep this heart pumping. Okay, so this heart this heart, that means soul, it remains impatient. Right now, we have a soul and it is impatient. It is impatient that it wants to see what is beyond the scene. Okay, so we have this question in our minds that okay, there are few things that we can see, and then there are other things that we know that they exist. Okay, there are ways to see them, and then there is unseen. Okay, so our heart, the soul that we have, it always it's in this, that it wants to know what lies beyond beyond this scene. Okay, so in this graves dimension, the same soul that we will have, okay, the same soul, it will be as impatient as it is now, and it will be eager to know what lies beyond. So there will be some seen in that dimension and there will be some unseen. So the soul will be eager to know, to understand what lies beyond seen and unseen. So this story will continue. Okay, there is no stopping. महो सितारा मिसाले शरारा यक दो नफ्स मैं खुदी का अब तक सुरूर रहता है. So this first line that I just read, I don't have a complete understanding of this. Okay, but what I'm just guessing. Okay, so Maho Sitara means that moon and sun. Okay, moon and sun. Yak do nafas. Okay, so the way I would put it, that Iqbal is talking about the different stages or different phases a star goes through. Okay, yeah, so there is this spark, and then with spark there may be different stages, and a star is born, and then a star eventually loses its heat and disintegrates, and new stars are formed, and around stars you have then planets, and planets have their moon. So there is this this sequence. Okay, so maybe he's talking about this. Okay, but मैं खुदी का अब तक सुरूर रहता है. So again, it's the same thing, that if so khudi is this another topic. Okay, it's a big topic, and it needs, like for me, I have to understand it in each poem. Wherever I will find khudi, I'll try to understand why what does this mean. Okay, so for now, let's say that khudi is something that comes with the realizing one's own self. Okay, so realizing one's own true potential. Okay, so we have a lower self and a upper self. Okay, a superior self. So lower self is the one that attaches us to the it has emotions and urges and all those. Okay, so if we kind of control this lower self, if we keep it in limits, then our upper self, it's activated. Okay, so it's activated. So yeah, so when we activate our upper self, that's when the superior self, okay, the real self that we have, okay, inside us. So that's when it's we realize this, it's Khudi, okay, realizing that the true self that we have. And it comes with belief. Okay, so you have to have a belief in a creator. Okay, there is creator of this universe of seen and unseen. And then you have to have belief in the afterlife. Okay, life after death. Okay, as he's explaining here, that there is life after death. Okay, so because it makes you accountable, it makes you accountable that the actions that you are doing, there will be you cannot just do everything whatever we want. Okay, so yes, so with that comes this Khudi. And uh, so if you have this Maya Khudi, okay, if you have this drink of Khudi, so what we do with this Khudi is that we have this drink. And this drink is basically blood of the soul. Okay, so in the first line he says agar ho zinda to dil nasbur rehta hai, and I told you that dil is actually soul. So Khudi serves as the blood of soul. Okay, so if soul has successfully, we upload this Khudi into the soul. So soul remains alive. Okay, it remains alive forever. Okay, forever, and it keeps experiencing this seen and unseen, till eternity. Okay, फरिश्ता मौत का छूता है गो बदन तेरा, तेरे वजूद के मरकज से दूर रहता है. Yes, the angel of death, it comes and it takes your soul away. But all it does is that you have your soul attached to your body. So all it does is it just detaches your soul. Okay, detaches your soul from the body. And then the body, it's just matter, it goes to matter. And soul, it continues. So your this angel of death, it doesn't, the soul remains there. Okay, he cannot do anything with the soul. Okay, soul remains there. So, and this soul, if it has this this self belief in it, Khudi, self belief that comes with belief in creator, and the afterlife, and controlling your lower self. So you get to this this Khudi. And Khudi actually, it serves as kind of blood for the soul. Okay, and then soul lives on and experiences newer seen and unseens. Okay, and keeps enjoying forever. So yeah, so this is so it's not that fearful topic. The death is not that, we should not fear of it very much. Okay, yep, so that's our topic for today, and I'll stop here and I'll come back inshallah with another poem of Dr. Iqbal.